In short, tree movie make sad.
Oh, hi,
Movies.
For this year's Valentine's Day, I wanted to revisit 2006's The Fountain, a beautifully painful and philosophical look at love and connection through the ages. Helmed by a young Darren Aronofsky, the film covers 3 concurrent stories in 3 separate time periods. In one, a Spanish conquistador named Tomas seeks the Fountain of Youth from the Mayans for his queen in the year 1500. In another, an American surgeon named Thomas is seeking the cure to cancer for his wife in the year 2000. And finally, a bald Buddhist Tai Chi practitioner named Tom seeks to bring his beloved tree to a far-off nebula in the year 2500. Yeah, just one of those movies. The 3 love stories are woven together into one narrative as a sort of a audiovisual tone poem in the most literal sense. Images and phrases repeat throughout, almost like lyrical choruses, and there is a through line of an obsessive love in each of them as they each dovetail into one conclusion. Each protagonist is a man played by Hugh Jackman, bringing an electric yet distinct performance in each one. Tomas is not Thomas Creo, is not Tom. The conquistador is unhinged, the doctor is romantic, the monk is serene. In turn, each love interest is a woman represented by Rachel Weisz, the Queen Isabel in Spain, the cancer patient Izzy Creo in America, and a mix of the two with the tree in a space bubble. Isabel is not Izzy, is not a tree. Even this early in his career, director Aronofsky had shown a penchant for very intense human emotions centered on obsessive characters and their pain. His debut feature, Pi, had a mathematician named Max seeking the answer to the stock market at the cost of his sanity. In Requiem for a Dream, everyone is lusting for their next high at the cost of everything, including their mind and body, to say nothing of his later films, The Wrestler and Black Swan. And so, in The Fountain, it's no surprise that our man is seeking to do what he thinks is right by his lady love, when she really just wants to spend the remaining time together as best as they can.
Come on, Tommy.
Please, Izzy. I'm sorry. I am. I'll see you tonight, okay?
I'm trying to keep it a little bit light on spoilers, but I bet you can already start to put some of the pieces together. After all, we're all human beings prone to pattern recognition, and Aronofsky has never been known for his subtlety. The Fountain has had a historically mixed reception since its release nearly 20 years ago. Just about everybody praised it for its flair, but found its central love story a bit hokey. And it kinda is. My wife and I joked throughout it that this is basically the Notebook for sci-fi nerds. Boy meets girl, boy loses girl, boy gets girl again, girl is tree, boy is space monk. I mean, this is nothing new. However, like a good song, it's more about slipping into its spell even if you know every note. And what a melody The Fountain plays. The construction of the film is exquisite. I wouldn't be surprised if the Wachowskis and Tom Twyker took notes from this when they made Cloud Atlas, given how both the films deftly weave time and space together into a continuous whole. Every frame of the film is painterly thanks to Aronofsky and his regular DOP, Matthew Libatique, being as obsessive as the film's hero, or heroes. It's full of allusions to Jan Svankmajer, Akira Kurosawa, and Alejandro Jodorowsky of all things, while still doing its own thing and not just scrubbing the serial numbers off of Satoshi Kon's work. Listening to Aronofsky's homemade commentary track, there is a minimum of CG trickery for how beautiful this film looks. Just about every big effect in the movie is fundamentally practical, especially the film's trademark star fields, which are actually images of various bacteria and chemical reactions. Aronofsky said that he wanted it to age gracefully, and I'm happy to say that it has. In the great art house movie tradition, the symbolism remains overt. Circles in particular are everywhere. Rings on fingers, rings on trees, rings on tattoos, people walking in literal circles, hair on bark, hair on skin, lights, stars, and of course, life, birth, and rebirth, etc., etc., etc. The soundtrack only accentuates this. The whole score is expertly handled by Clint Mansell with the Kronos Quartet on main, with the rock band Mogwai providing the extra oomph towards the end and for the big moments, making the whole thing feel properly orchestral. Everything builds upon the same leitmotifs until they form into a thundering crescendo at the climax. It's a 1-2 punch that knocks you out even when you know it's all coming. Speaking of knowing what's coming, when so much that gets put into mainstream cinemas these days feels so cookie-cutter, I'm still amazed that such an overtly art house movie managed to get a sizable budget of $35 million, even with the initial production blows following a creative dispute with the original star Brad Pitt walking off the set.
After much wrestling with a lot of different things in LA and probably, the worst week professionally and personally in my life, the studio's shutting us down. But they are in a place where they're looking for us to find the right actor for it.
Maybe I'm just being advertised the wrong movies, but why is it that these sort of weird mid-budget fence swingers nowadays get relegated to being hidden away in some Netflix menu? In a deft 96 minutes, The Fountain manages to cram enough scope, pathos, and meaning to be worthy of twice that length. It's interesting how Roger Ebert once mentioned that he was not particularly impressed by the movie, but he did want to see the full-length director's cut, attributing its shortcomings to budgetary restrictions following the initial production's failure. However, a quick look at the 2005 graphic novel that Aronofsky and artist Kent Williams put together would betray that he had a very clear idea of what the story was. Frankly, what few changes were made resulted in a better product. The story is just a smidge more focused in the movie. It truncated some bloated action set pieces into leaner bits in favor of letting Jackman and Weisz's story be the spine it was always meant to be. The Fountain is not the greatest love story, to be fair. Aronofsky always has a way of focusing on his character's pain. It's funny, in an interview that Terry Gross did on NPR's Fresh Air with him, she kept pushing for why he's so focused on people's pain and how they deal with it. And Aronofsky, if I remember, pushed back saying, "Did you
tell me that I'm wrong?" But it seems to me between that and The Wrestler that you are interested in pain.
Have you not seen The Fountain?
I have not seen The Fountain. Is there more pain in it?
No, you should see it. It's my romantic film.
I see. Okay.
Yeah.
With respect to Aronofsky and his craft, he's a very talented filmmaker, one of my favorites. I think he fell short of the mark here. It's a movie about obsession. There is love involved, but primarily it is about this man's drive to save not even the woman, but himself. And it's only when he accepts to let go that he can finally achieve that goal. In that way, I guess maybe it's not a love story, but it is a romantic movie in the truest sense. You don't really get stuff like this too often. It's maybe not the easiest sell to your sweetheart, but it will make for a memorable Valentine's. Thank you all for watching, or listening, or however you prefer to consume your YouTube content. Please be sure to like, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff if you enjoyed this, or if you didn't. Try to keep this a little short. I wanted to just pump this out in time. I'm already running late on my time zone. Till the next one, peace.